Good morning. I would like to introduce Janet Brayford, like everybody knows Janet, of course. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Burns United Church, how this all came about with the Brayfords coming to the Alliston United Church. And this goes back to the 60s. So Janet transferred her membership in 1961. So Janet, you're going to tell me the story, exactly how Burns came to be with United, with Mr. Shelton, the whole, how it all came about.
Well, Burns was a nice little country church, and that's where we all came through the ranks up there, and it was kind of interesting. We had a fine choir in Burns Church, but you didn't have to be able to sing. You just, they wanted you there if you could fill a chair. And everybody went through being in the choir, and I can remember at one time that I taught Sunday school, and that I played the organ, and I also sang alto. I don't think we were ever judged as to our performance level, but we did the best we could. Mr. Shelton was there at the time when we decided that we should go and join St. John's in Alliston. We were nervous, very nervous about that move, because we always thought of St. John's as being a very sophisticated group down there, and we didn't know whether we could fit in, us old country bumpkins. At any rate, bit by bit, we went down there and were welcomed and made feel good about the move. And sadly, Burns Church was taken down. Hate to see these old landmarks go, but away it went. But at any rate, we felt that St. John's was a good place to be. There aren't many of us left that were at Burns at one time, but Mr. Shelton used to make a trip up after lunch every day and preach his sermon again, and sometimes the crowd was not very large, and it just made sense that this is what we should do. We used to have Sunday school first. We'd go to Sunday school at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we split up into classes with various teachers. My dad was the superintendent in Burns for years and years, and we always looked forward after our classes to the time when he told the social stories about the country. He would relate that somebody had a new baby, or all sorts of interesting things, and he always delivered them with lots of humor. Mr. Shelton, I'm sure, was happy to be able to do his sermon once a Sunday, and therefore that's how we came to come here, and we are really happy that St. John's is still keeping going, and I don't know how long these churches will be able to continue, but best wishes on the 150th.
And the Byers family, Bev Bailey, she came from Burns. And then the Byers came, John and Doreen, because they must have been married at that time. And then Kay Stevenson, she came from Burns, and Lauren Stevenson. Now there may be still some other ones that I don't know about, but those are the main characters that are still in our church.
Well, it's a good place to be.
So what happened to you when you joined St. John's? Did you jump right in, or did you just kind of stand back?
Well, we kind of crept in and kept quite quiet for a while. But no, it was great. It was great, and we tried to help out where we could then. But as I say, we felt that we were welcomed, and we were happy about it.
And was a couple clubs formed in '61?
I don't know. We were never part of the couples club. Farmers don't seem to get as involved as.
Well, no, because you're working a lot more. That's the whole thing too. And then the kids with Sunday school, because I taught Sunday school with Nicole, and Nicole, oh shoot, what was Ingram? What was her maiden name? Nicole. Ingram. So she and I taught grade 2. So we did teach your children.
And there was a strong Sunday school.
Yeah, there was a very strong Sunday school, so they went up through the ranks. Now, did you ever get in with the choir? Or?
Oh yes, I was in the choir at one time. I was on the board.
Yeah.
And I didn't teach Sunday school. I at times spared for people, but I never did. I was teaching myself at the time, and I didn't want to teach all the time.
And you probably didn't get involved with UCW because you were working on the farm all the time too, yeah. And then later on, when life got a little less busy, is there ever a time that got less busy for you?
Well, I haven't retired yet, but I'm going to look into retirement soon.
Okay, that's not a bad thing. Any other questions on Burns? So, and your children, I mean, they've all come through the ranks. They've all joined St. John's through profession of faith.
They have.
Because I've been part of membership for a long time, and I've watched a number of them through. Baptisms were done at St. John's with your grandchildren. Now, your children, were they, I can't remember what year they were born then. Your children.
Yeah, they were.
They were all baptized at
Mr.
St. John's
Shelton.
too. Yeah.
Mr. Shelton was there at the time, and the kids were all in Sunday school, as were many of the kids. But then suddenly, the hockey people thought that Sunday morning was a good time for practices and games, and the young grandsons playing hockey. Did you punish them by telling them they can't go there, but they must go to church? It was a tricky time to know how to handle that sort of thing, but they haven't forgotten their upbringing and where they come from, and hopefully they'll see fit to go full circle and come back again.
And also, your grandsons have been very instrumental with the pancake breakfast at St. John's with Potato Festival. They're always there, helping put up the tents.
When they need muscles, they call
on the Brayfords. If we need grass or sod, we call on the Brayfords.
We try to help in many ways, but not always by visually. We're not always there when we should be, but doing the best we can.
Yeah. So we've had a lot. You've stayed connected with our church, which has been wonderful.
Obviously, no problem.
And Jo Raines has been quite instrumental in keeping us on our toes. She needs something, she knows who to call.
Well, she worked here for 14 years.
Yes, yeah, that was another
So
connection.
I still have to call her to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's great with all the sermons on the internet, or I can read them or hear them. Sungmin's just doing a wonderful job with that.
So that's been a real blessing.
Oh, for sure. He doesn't know I'm listening to him all the time, but I am. I know what he's saying.